Alright, welcome back everybody. It's time to jump into CEF's epilogue. I'm excited to see where this goes. Is there another time skip? Will we have more interactions with our son? So many questions. It's late at night. I'm waiting for my husband now. I'm sure the door to the room will open any minute now and he'll be back.
I'm home.
Welcome back. Just as I'd expected, CEF returned home with a slightly tired face.
What's with that scary face? Something happened.
If you think my face is scary, isn't it because of your guilty conscience?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm furiously angry right now. Uh-oh. The reason being that CEF comes home so late every day.
I was a little late in coming back, but that's not something to be guilty over.
As CEF says, it's not uncommon for him to come home late. For CEF, who succeeded Minister Orda and became a politician, there are days when he doesn't come home at all, particularly busy times such as before and after the assembly. But there's no assembly now, and it's not a busy period. Despite that, he still comes home late every night. Moreover, he's out drinking, and he brings the smell back with him, though slight. I'll ask him why for sure today. I'd made up my mind and was staying up despite my drowsiness. But that drowsiness is now gone, because again, the scent of white powder drifted from CEF. White powder. Hey, CEF.
Yeah.
Do you know why I'm angry?
Why?
No more dodging the issue. What have you been doing up to now?
Work. Just working.
What kind of work?
Lately I've been entertaining guests.
You've been entertaining guests every day. You didn't do that before, did you?
It happens sometimes.
So, where are you entertaining these guests?
Just an average shop.
In that case, why do you smell like makeup?
Huh? Do I? Maybe you're just imagining it.
I am not! How many times have we argued like this? CEF always comes home like this and never explains where he was. He always just says he was entertaining guests. Even so, in order for the scent to remain, the woman must have been close to him for a long time. CEF, what are you doing to this poor girl? What necessitates such a secret and you being out so late? I don't think he's actually doing anything untoward, but I'm trying to think like what the possible explanation could be. It seems like he's hiding something. I want to believe CEF, but my suspicion continues to grow in this condition.
Then I'll hop in the bath.
CEF, wait! I'm at my limit of being avoided. I bit my lip, looked down, and after much hesitation, I finally decided to ask. Maybe... have you developed feelings for someone else?
There's no way. Well then, I'll be going.
Hey! Wait! CEF, who was leaving quickly, didn't seem to stop even as I called out to him. That's suspicious. Yeah, like, why would you be so dismissive about it? Be like, well, I'm off then. Like, huh? She opened up to you, man. CEF, don't do this to me. Up to now, there wasn't anything you wouldn't talk to me about. The problem isn't him having other women around. I'm upset with his attitude of trying to hide it. It would be best to tell me everything honestly, even if it hurt, because then I would calm down. I think that's reasonable. I want to believe you, but I can't. Maybe I've gotten old. Maybe he's been taken by a younger girl. Only miserable futures come to mind. I shook off my self-serving fantasies. Okay, Seth. If you don't want to talk, then I'll just have to look for myself. I'm not looking because I doubt him. I want to believe, so I have to know the truth. I mean, if he's not communicating with you, you're kind of stuck, so I approve of this. Even if it is sophistry from Seth's point of view, that's what I really think. I stabbed a sharp look at his distant back and made up my mind alone. Alright, let's sneaky sneak. I saw Seth off again today and finished up all the housework. Sanzar just left for a play with his father-in-law and mother-in-law, and will return at night. I guess your father-in-law and mother-in-law? Please tell me Sanzar is not old enough to already be married and have a father-in-law and mother-in-law. I'm the only family member left in the mansion. Well then, it's time to get down to business. To go and stalk my husband. After thinking about various things last night. It's best to hear it from one of Seth's acquaintances. That's the conclusion I reached. However, I'd like to avoid people who could affect his work, such as fellow representatives. Though I would like to hear from his colleagues. If it wasn't work, as I had suspected, then strange rumors would fly and problems would arise. As a wife, I didn't want to do anything that would block my husband's future opportunities. If it comes to that, I have no choice but to ask him. All right, I'm going. I fired myself up and took a step forward.
Oh, welcome!
Hello.
Ah, it's Seth's wife. Oh, this place is getting lively.
I headed to Seth's favorite bar. The last time I came here was with Seth, so this was my first time to come here alone. At first, I was worried about entering by myself, but the regular customers accepted me cheerfully.
Are you by yourself? How rare.
Yes.
Well, have a seat. Have a drink?
Maybe just one. I hesitate to drink alcohol in the daytime, but I feel bad coming to the bar and not ordering anything. Eventually, a pleasant liquor was served, and I thought about how to start the conversation while drinking. How should I ask? I'd come here with a fire lit under me, but it was difficult to just suddenly ask if Seth was cheating on me. As I fretted, the mistress called out to me.
Your husband doesn't come round much these days. It's like he forgot I exist. It's sad.
Is that so? Perhaps sensing my reluctance to ask, the mistress went ahead and talked to the guests around her.
Hey, have any of you seen that indifferent fellow?
I haven't.
I bumped into him at the market the other day.
One of the regular customers shouts out. Distracted by the sightings I finally heard, I joined the conversation up front. What was Seth doing in the market?
He was alone, so I called out and we talked for a bit, but he was really just passing through, it seems. He said he'd been frequenting one of the stores near the front of the market.
One of the stores in the front?
It's an expensive store, so I teased him, saying his taste must have improved since joining the assembly.
Ah, you mean that place everyone is talking about, where that girl serves the customers?
Yeah, the commoner's dream.
A girl serves customers? It's been several years since the cure for the rot was discovered, and although women from other countries are responding to the invitation, there's still a shortage of women. Under such circumstances, it's no wonder that they'd pay a high amount for a girl serving customers.
The girl serves drinks there, but if you buy an expensive alcohol, then she'll let you touch her.
What?
But there's no way Seth would do that, what with having such a cute wife and all.
Yeah, you don't need to worry.
Huh? Naala? Maybe we said something we shouldn't have?
No, I'm glad you told me. Thank you.
Well, I hope that's the case.
Having said that, I could only just now smile. I didn't even hear the latter part of the story. It's not sounding good. Gotta admit, it's really not sounding good. Also, I have not seen the market in a hot minute. Hello. I don't even remember how we wrapped things up. After thanking the mistresses, I left her shop and found myself walking down the market. I followed the directions I'd been given. After walking for a while, I saw a high-class store on the outskirts of the market. Is that it? There was a man cleaning the eaves of the building, perhaps preparing for the opening. After keeping watch for a while, several women entered the store, exchanging greetings with the man. So there are female employees. Maybe he's fallen in love with one of the girls at the store. Or does he just want to drink with a young girl? Was he out drinking and playing with girls in the name of entertaining guests? Along with the sadness, a seething anger welled up in me. In that case... At that moment, my resolve was solidified. Watch me, CEF. My fists clenched and shaking, I walked to the store.
Are you working here? Hold on. Girl, I have questions for you.
Welcome! The costumes were open at the chest, and the makeup was so thick that it was difficult to tell who I was.
Oh, really?
With such fancy attire, I welcomed the guests and sent them to their seats. In some ways, this is the most exciting job of my life.
Yeah?
I never thought I'd be dressed in such tantalizing outfits after I got married. I just got employed at this store after talking to the man who was sweeping up at the storefront. It seems that he was the person in charge, and things just kind of progressed from there. If CEF doesn't come, I'm gonna cry. Immediately after entering the store, I casually asked the employees about CEF. Everyone said that he was a regular, so he must frequent this place. And yet, it's quite crowded. Looking around the store, the seats are already filled. Even though it is still early evening, the store is busy. I wonder if there are still only a few women. Even though the threat of the rot has passed, the number of men is still overwhelming. This may make this kind of business, where people can easily come into contact with women, flourish. Does CEF enjoy coming here? And thinking these thoughts will make me fail at my job. I need to get a grip. I can't get kicked out of here until CEF comes and I figure out what's going on here. As I tapped my cheeks lightly to keep my spirits up, the door to the store opened.
Hey, welcome, Lord CEF. Please drink a lot today, too.
I quickly hid in a blind spot so CEF didn't notice me. CEF is swarmed by the women, seemingly troubled but laughing.
Let's have a good time tonight too, ladies.
It was true. CEF, you idiot. On the verge of tears, I looked up and blinked repeatedly. I will not cry over this. I'd never be able to forgive myself if I just turned tail and went home crying. But speaking of... As my tears began to dry, I began to notice the companion who had just been behind CEF. I'm sure I've seen that face somewhere before. I steal a look at the seat where CEF is, trying to see the man's face again. But I saw CEF's grinning face first, and I couldn't think straight. You nose-growing liar!
Yeah, you just called him like Pinocchio out of nowhere. Now I'm starting to wonder if he's taking that representative friend of his who's like, I'll never get a girl. But why wouldn't you just tell your wife that? What is the shame in that? CEF, I don't understand.
A hazy black feeling occupies my heart.
Miss. Hey, Miss Nell. Miss Nell?
Yes? Oh, that's me. Absorbed in thought, I was called by a different name and couldn't react immediately. I was told that the women are called by a special name in the store and we cannot use our real names. The name the manager decided for me was uncomfortable and I could not get used to it. What is it?
The customer who just came in seems to have taken a liking to you, so could you go join them?
Yes?
Good for you, getting picked so soon.
No,
It's fine, they know you're new here.
For me, nothing here is fine. The manager seems to think I am motivated, perhaps because of my desperation when I entered the store. I was sent to my seat with a big smile on my face and froze in front of my guests. I stepped forward and thought desperately about what I had to say.
Hey, you're the new girl, yeah? Have a seat!
Yes. Even if for undercover purposes, a job is a job, I will have to fulfill my responsibilities properly here. With such a sense of duty, I sit down awkwardly. Excuse me. The seats were draped with purple pull cloth, making the inside feel like a private room. The man who nominated me sits comfortably alone in a large seat. However, the room seemed rather small, perhaps because of the oppressive feeling created by his large physique.
Oh, no. Over here.
His hand gestured me to sit down next to him. I gather my courage and sit down, but the distance between me and the man is too close, and I feel extremely impatient internally.
So, let's toast. You can have a drink too.
Yes. I'm used to drinking alcohol on a regular basis, but today my hands are shaking.
Your hands are shaking.
I'm sorry.
You're cute.
The man's palm rests on my hand, holding the cup. I felt goosebumps all over my body and almost brushed them off as quickly as I could. That's no good, no good. I am an employee and this person is a customer. Patience, patience, patience. But it is this kind of store. I was told in advance and also briefed by the manager. I can't get rid of it now.
You really are cute. Your skin is so smooth.
I almost let out a short scream and held my mouth just in time. As I stiffened, the toned man's palm began to stroke my thighs. I'm sorry, I was under the impression you had to pay a lot of money for such services. Have we vetted this customer? How about another drink?
If I order more, can I touch you more?
I thought I had dodged a bullet, but the story took a most unwanted turn. I'm all shook up. That customer.
Hey, bring us more.
What to do? If it's just a little touching, maybe I can bear it.
I'm looking forward to it.
I 100% cannot do this! Girl, I feel you. I'm sorry. Please, excuse me for a moment. Let me get out of there and get advice from other women. I'm sure they know how to handle unpleasant customers. As I was about to leave the room, I felt a tug on the edge of my costume and stopped. When I turned around, the man had a grip on the hem of my costume and was pulling.
No, I won't allow you to leave.
He extends an arm as if to capture me. I wanted to escape from it, but I couldn't, so I squeezed my eyes shut. Time passed, but the arm never came. When I opened my eyes thinly in wonder, I saw a familiar broad back in front of me.
Okay, that's enough.
CEF? I don't know when he appeared, but CEF had come between the man and me. Hidden behind his back, I can no longer see the man. As I was blindingly surprised, CEF turned around and took my hand.
Sorry. This one's pretty important to me, so I'll be taking her back.
My toes float softly and cling reflexively. In no time at all, I was held sideways and carried like a piece of luggage. That's impressive. I heard some complaining in the background, but the manager seemed to be rounding on the customers, perhaps afraid to protest to CEF, a representative. Oh my. That's what you're wearing? Wow. Wow, boom. Naala. Dang, girl. Sheesh. That is quite the outfit. It seems that there was a place where the seat was just vacant, so we were alone in a semi-private room. Oh no, not the nice view comment again. CEF, explain yourself immediately.
Nice view.
CEF sat down with me in a sideways hug, so I ended up on his lap. Even though it is not very visible from the outside, it is quite embarrassing. Put me down.
No way. You're in this beautiful costume, so I want to see it up close. By the way, what are you doing dressed up like this in a place like this? I'd like you to tell me.
Had you noticed me from the start?
Yeah, I was wondering.
Sorry.
This time it was so unexpected. It really took me by surprise.
Seth smiles, as if troubled. But the hand combing my hair was as gentle as ever, and I knew he was not angry. I was distressed for a long time, and as soon as the tension was released, I burst into tears.
Why'd you do such a thing?
You know why. He knew why when he found me, but he just laughed and didn't forgive me. He smiled gently, but his eyes urged me to explain. I'm worried that you're cheating on me.
You are cute.
And how did you come to that conclusion from that?
Because you love me so much that you're willing to chase after me, yeah?
Well, yeah.
Thinking about that makes me happy.
Seth, you're not mad.
Why would I be?
Because I did something arbitrarily.
I'm not mad. Your jealousy is precious.
I'm always jealous. Seth is good-looking and popular and surrounded by all those beautiful girls. It's impossible not to be jealous. Seth groans, scratching his cheek in an awkward manner. He let out a contemplative sigh, as if he thought he couldn't fake it, and began to explain.
The minister who was with me today is a regular here. I went with him to bring him into our camp.
I thought I had seen him before. The negotiations with that person.
It went so smoothly that I can't believe he used to be in the opposition. He just now pledged to help Lord Toya. I was so worried about you that I thought that I had to conclude the negotiations as soon as possible. So I may have overdone things a bit.
I'm sorry. While I am relieved that the negotiations are settled, I feel guilty for having doubted him. But why couldn't he just explain, I'm going to this place with a representative to get him on our side? What is so difficult about that, Seth? I looked down, unable to look Seth in the face.
You don't have to apologize.
No. I caused you trouble, so I really should apologize. I'm really sorry.
It's my fault for not properly talking to you about it. But there's a reason why I couldn't.
Okay, I'm listening. What kind of reason?
Negotiations, but in a place like this. I didn't want to make you worry in the time it took to get things done.
Well, you failed miserably at that, because all she did was worry and conjure up the worst possible scenarios, rightly so, because you didn't communicate.
And this time I told you because you came all this way. But the truth is, it was better that you didn't know. It would have put you in danger.
I am?
The minister comes here and I convince him. That's another fine piece of information about politics. How far along are the negotiations? Are they likely to succeed, or are they likely to fail? For people who want to know, rather than kidnap me and make a big mess of things, it'd be easier to kidnap someone who might know and pull the info out of them. Apart from the team that carries it out, you'd never know who was behind it all. That's a usable tactic. And so it goes. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of shadows in this country's political dealings.
I realize that I have wasted Seth's concern, and I feel even more sorry. I don't know. I mean, okay, I get he's trying to protect her from political opponents, but is it really putting her in danger to be like, I'm meeting with someone in politics at X location. I'm not going to tell you who, but I'm meeting them there. The place is like this, but it's just for work. Instead of like, yeah, I was out at work for meetings and not... And she's like, well, I smell alcohol. I smell women's products on you. What am I supposed to think? Haha. Anyway, I'm gonna go shower. I feel like you could have communicated enough to allay her worries without, you know, having to get into specifics that would get her in danger stuff. But you know what? I'll give you a pass because I like you, but still, work on that in the future, please, for Naala's sake. Biting my lip tightly, I was told in a cheerful tone that seemed to intentionally switch things away from the dark atmosphere.
But you did end up helping me out.
Helped you out? I just got in your way. I was about to turn over again when he tilted his head slightly and peeked in. I glanced at him and gasped at the glaze of his eyes narrowed up close.
I think it was because I was so excited to see you in such a sexy way. I could speak better than usual.
Seth's subdued voice is as sweet as the murmurings heard in the nighttime darkness. His gaze traced my skin, and I instantly felt as if my body temperature had risen. Come to think of it, this is the first time I've shown him this much skin under this much lighting. I found myself unable to sit still, squirming in Seth's lap. I'll go get changed.
It looks good on you.
This look is really embarrassing.
I know. You being all shy is cute too.
Seth, you're actually kind of mean, aren't you? I made a pouty face, and Seth, smiling softly, pinched my cheeks.
You're cute.
I am not.
You're cute no matter what you do. You're too good of a wife for me. Ah, but as of right this moment, I'd say you're more beautiful.
As our lips brush against each other, our mouths tingle with a desire for heat. I stick out my tongue a little, as if begging, and touch his thick lips. Laughing deep from his throat, Seth deepened his kiss and gently entwined his tongue with mine. He asks, his lips parting and eyes twinkling under his nose with a mischievous gleam in them.
Hey, cute and beautiful lady. How could an old dude like me make a successful pass at you?
It's simple. Tell me you love me.
That's it.
Yes, that's the best pickup line. More than any other beautiful words, the one phrase, I love you, that Seth tells me makes me happy. Saying so with a smile, Seth also relaxed his eyes. His eyes seemed to be slightly moistened, perhaps because of the light.
I love you. Far more than you realize.
That's how that ends. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably my least favorite of the epilogues. I was just like, oh man, this bad communication stuff, and I'm just like, what? I didn't feel good for most of that. I think they're still cute. They're still obviously madly in love with each other, and Naala really picked up on the Noel jealousy from her short stint with him, I gotta say. But anyway, I'm glad they semi-worked it out, although I feel like this is something that's gonna happen again in the future just because of poor communication. Hopefully Seth can work on it. But yeah, as of right now, I gotta say probably my least favorite of the epilogues that we've seen. But anyway, Seth, you're still a cutie. I still love you and Naala together, and I hope you guys enjoyed his epilogue. He only has one bad ending, so we're gonna do that next. Hopefully I'll see you there for that. Until next time, I will see you later.